Breaking news: 43 million Americans may suddenly find out that food actually costs money. But don't worry, the government that made you dependent will take full responsibility. Eventually. Maybe. Folks are melting down on TikTok like a popsicle on a July dashboard.
Another one. Another one. Well, that's what they...
How is this the cashier's fault or the cashier's problem?
Shame on you. Now we gotta go back to work. What am I gonna do?
Looks like you're either gonna have to work or they're gonna have to work.
People to say, girl, let me get a couple of yaps.
What does she have to do to get some yamps? So lately, there's been a whole lot of EBT cards declining and a lot more drama happening in the checkout line. We have grown adults throwing toddler-sized tantrums in public, and some just rage posting to TikTok. The food stamp cuts are hitting hard.
Man, did you make me one?
No, why don't you get your own? You know, you had an opportunity to stop on your way here.
And I was in a hurry on the way here. I didn't get much sleep last night. Man, that really looks good. Keith, can I have some?
No, I'm telling you.
Please?
No. Listen, you had an opportunity. And what do you mean you didn't get enough sleep last night?
Oh, hold on, man. My back's been hurting.
Okay.
And I'm having an issue. I don't know what's going on with my back. Anyway, me and the boys went out last night and had a couple drinks, and you know, one thing led to another, and I was late getting here. And but now my back is really, man, that sandwich looks good, man. You sure I can't have some?
Man, I'm telling you, you need to be standing on your own 2 feet and thinking ahead. This is my sandwich. It's one sandwich, and I need the whole sandwich.
Man, I'm hungry.
Why's your back hurting?
I don't know. You want to see what's going on?
Are you kidding me right now?
No, it's hurting. Right there on my shoulder. What's up?
Dude, looks like you got a fresh tattoo.
What?
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Of a Sasquatch.
Of a Sasquatch.
Don't ask me. You got the tattoo.
Man, listen, I went out. The guys wanted to see my new bike, my Harley. Dude, it's it. I mean, I got my free shirt, my Harley shirt with it. It came free with the bike. It was a deal. And I was running to get in here, so I just, didn't have time to stop and get anything to eat. Plus, when I did try to stop, I realized I didn't have any more money.
So let me get this straight. You went out last night.
Yep.
On a Harley, which I wish I had one.
Yep.
And you hung out with the boys and you spent your money there
Yep.
and got a brand new tattoo. That can't be cheap. And now you're asking me for my sandwich.
And?
Well, what do you mean? And do you have any family at home?
Yeah, I got the wife or the girlfriend and the kids because, we can't get married. We'd lose our government benefits.
What?
Yep.
Wait a minute. You got government benefits.
Yep.
And you, okay, she's your girlfriend.
Yep.
And how did you get government benefits?
Well, she's getting the benefits.
Oh.
I'm wheeling and dealing.
Oh, I see.
That's how I keep going.
How in the world do you get stamps?
Well, we get them for the kids.
Well, how many kids do you got?
7.
7?
7 kids.
So why in the world, if you can't afford to feed your kids, would you have 7 kids? Why would you bring them into the world like that?
What? Because we wanted kids. Plus, for every kid you have, you get more money from the government.
You're kidding me right now.
Yeah. It's free.
Okay. So
look, we got this thing figured out.
Okay, tell me
Some
about
friends of ours told us a long time ago how to do this, and we got right in on it. For every child you have, the government will give you a check for more money to help pay for those kids from like My girl, she gets Section 8. That's why we can't get married.
Okay, now wait a minute. So now you're on food stamps. You got
Yeah.
7 kids. How much money a month do you make on food stamps?
About 4,000.
4,000.
Yeah, 4,400 last I counted.
Man, that's better than my retirement plan.
You need a
So-
new retirement plan.
Yeah.
Listen, I can help you out with that.
No, I've got dignity.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, apparently
You
don't know.
in today's society, you can't afford dignity.
Yes, you can.
No,
If
no,
you
no.
plan right,
Look,
you can do that.
Can I have a bite or not?
Man, I told you, no.
Man, come on. That's not right.
So I just want to be clear about this. You got a Harley. How in the world did you afford your Harley?
Well, I figured out this plan, my friends and I, we got this plan going. Like, I can sell some of those benefits.
Wait
And
a
look,
minute.
I sold enough
Wait a minute.
overtime. I did save up enough over the last 2 weeks to buy that Harley with some other deals going on. But we also learned how to sell our benefits.
What kind of other deal have you got going?
We can talk about that later. We can't talk about that on the air.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
You might just wind up in prison.
Oh,
I
no,
feel
no,
like
no.
that.
It's legit.
Okay, you do realize we're live, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Listen, it's illegitimately legit.
Okay, so you got food stamps. You got your rent paid.
Yep.
Probably through that Section 8 program.
Yep.
And you got extra cash to spend.
It's free.
And then you went out last night and spending that cash.
Yep.
And your girlfriend didn't have a problem with that?
No, man. As long as she gets her nails done, she gets that Mercedes, she gets everything. She's out there, her hair, her nails. She's cool with it. She stays home with the kids. I just need to get out of there once in a while. 7 kids, man. Have you ever raised 7 kids?
No.
It's not easy.
I can imagine.
Yep.
And so, I don't get it. All my life I have been spending trying to figure out how I'm not going to live on the government, and you completely live on the government. Why don't you get a job?
Man, it's not right, dude.
Here's the deal. You need to level up, go to college, and get you some education.
I did go to college.
Wait,
Poli-sci major.
you're a poli-sci major.
Yep.
And you went to college.
Yep.
And
the government paid for it.
So, okay, this whole picture is coming into my head about how you figured out how to do all of that. Now, I thought I was pretty smart by planning.
The dude,
Oh,
I'm smarter than you are.
apparently so. Well, all I'm going to
I'm thinking about going to the college and starting a new program on how to get free money from the government.
Oh, come on, man. You are insulting me.
Look, you got to live it first, and then you can go show them how you did it.
This is crazy.
Why?
It's not the world. It's not the way I was brought up.
So, but it's the world we live in. It's the mess we created.
So, did your parents teach you that?
No, man, my dad worked all the time. He was never home with us.
So, didn't he teach you right from wrong?
Yeah. So,
When you went to college, it seems like he probably encouraged you to do that.
yeah. But you know what? Why do people always have to be right?
So 43 million on SNAP, mostly working poor, elderly, disabled, and children.
And don't forget that nearly half to 58% of the people on the SNAP program are illegal aliens in the country. So they are taken from this program as well.
Yeah. I even heard that in certain portions of New York City that those percentages was even.
Yeah, the Bronx is 40%
That's insane.
on the program.
Right.
And it sounds insane, but there's a lot of people that have become very dependent upon this program, and that's what we're going to get into today.
So government shutdown is to blame.
Or is it?
Good point. And both political parties are pointing fingers at each other about this entire thing. When I see it, they have plenty of blame to go around. It's not a one size fits all thing, like the Democrats are saying the Republicans are to blame. The Republicans are saying that the Democrats are to blame. If anybody out there is telling you that, don't listen to them because they're
Right.
just being partisan. Meanwhile, on SNAP, there is 12% of our entire population, 12%
12%. Yep.
on benefits, namely food stamps or SNAP.
And just to think of that in the terms that we mentioned just a minute ago, that of that 12%, 6% of those are undocumented workers.
Almost half. Or
Almost half.
Wow.
And how and we had the point earlier, how do you have undocumented workers and still provide a program for people who are undocumented that do not put into the system but are taking out?
Yeah, I mean, how much can the nation withstand those things? But it's still a problem. And let me point out that I wouldn't say it's the individual's entire fault because the government actually set them up and made them a dependent.
It did, and this program started. This wasn't a recent program. That as we all know, this is an age-old program, and I think we're going to get into a little bit of why this program started and the real motives behind it. So I think, man, that sandwich looks really good.
Told you, man. You ain't getting my sandwich.
Oh man!
Now, as you were just saying about the history of SNAP, did you know that actually it started you have to pay for your stamps? Now, I didn't figure out exactly how all of that worked, but in the beginning, that you paid for your stamps a certain amount, and then you got more stamps than what you paid for, but you had to have that as a basic starting point. Now, there was someone on TikTok, or no, it wasn't. It was on Facebook that I seen yesterday that was talking about how the government started it like that they were selling stamps.
I need my yamps.
Yeah, you need your yamps. Anyway, so her point is why are you getting on us when we sell our stamps for cash, but you started it?
Yeah, it's funny how people have justified what seems like common sense and turned it around to make it everybody else's fault now. And as we watch the whole SNAP program and everything going on with it kind of come apart, we watch the scene developing as it is, and you're hearing the desperation from people who have become very dependent upon government subsidies and help. And I just think it's kind of a travesty in this country. There have been times that my family personally has needed that type of help. When I think about my kids, when I think about how hard they're working, or when I was their age, what I needed, working 2 jobs and my wife at home raising kids, it wasn't easy. And so sometimes there are genuine people out there that really need the help. But my concern is the people who are scamming the system now. We've kind of created this mess. We've allowed it to happen. And in a lot of ways, as I said, I know we don't want to get completely political here, but we have created this mess all because I think certain people are pandering for the votes. So they're willing to water down things to the point that, where you can't read the truth anymore. You can't see the truth. You justify actions of people who are actually doing the wrong thing.
Well, I mean, I can see it. If you became dependent on a government benefit suddenly that was
Right.
being shut off, you know, panic sets in, and you would probably justify a whole lot of bad behavior.
Right. And now let's look at this. And now, when's the last time? I know everybody's been to the grocery store lately, and you've seen the prices on groceries, and everything's sky high. What used to you used to be able to go to the grocery store, $200 a week, and come home with a good bit of groceries. You can go to the grocery store with $200, and uh, you're barely getting anything to feed yourself, much less a family. You know what I mean? It's hard, and I don't know how people are doing it. And you know, across the board, there are people still getting hurt by this shutdown, and it's sad because we do need to fix the problem, but we can't fix the problem just by stopping something. It just doesn't help because you're still hurting the people who are trying. Now I get the whole need to cut back the waste, but this is more than cutting back the waste because you're going across the board and a lot of people are getting hurt from it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to check over here, but I think we have got a caller calling in. Let's check on the caller here. Caller, go ahead. You are on the Farm to Table show.
Yes. I just don't understand what's the problem. I mean, why they cut my card off? Because like that's how I live. I you know, all I got's my income. And this just all DC's fault.
Is this
They supposed to
Karen?
have this.
Is this Karen?
Is this
Karen?
Karen?
Why has it got to be Karen? Why has it got to be Karen?
Well, everybody should be
Um,
Karen right now.
well,
Is that right? Everybody's Karen,
Everybody's caring. You got to care about something.
right? Because we was promised something, and now we ain't got it.
yeah. Well, I mean, did you ever think about getting a job?
Well, I had a job once. I had a job once. They but I couldn't make enough money to feed my kids. So
So
what
you
was I
got on the
supposed
government plan.
well, I had to do something,
How
but
many kids you got?
nobody else showing up to help me.
How many kids you got?
What's that matter?
Well, we just want to know, you know, how many people you brought into the world, and did you ever think before that that those would be a lot of mouths to feed?
Hey, listen. The Bible said, "Go forth and multiply." So I multiplied.
Karen got the idea. Karen,
I mean, I can't argue with that, right?
Yeah.
It
Karen,
is-
you and I need to talk about some of those benefits and how to make a little money off of it.
Oh no, I can't get you
Yeah.
together.
Listen. I ain't trying to scam the system. I'm just trying to feed my kids, man. You know.
Right. Well, are you married? I mean, you got a husband? You got a man in the picture? What's up?
I had one once. He didn't stick around much.
He must have stuck around some because you got kids.
Well, you know, hey, what they say, once they got what they wanted, they gone.
You're saying friends with benefits
I didn't say that. You said
to
that.
get benefits.
Like you living over there.
It's to get benefits.
That's
That's all we need to know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you didn't give me your name. Is it
Well,
Karen?
No, I said collar. My name don't matter. You might dox me out there. I know how y'all are.
Oh, you're afraid of being doxxed. All right.
That's right.
I got
I
you.
ain't no TikTok person, but you know.
But you are a show caller.
Yeah, I'll call in. But you know.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, you call in anytime you want to. All right.
All right.
And
I just
by the-
waiting for answers because you know that one guy there, Nick. That one guy, he got it going on. He figured it out. You know. Uh, I just want to, they made us promises and now they ain't keeping them. That's
Okay, so what are you going to do if you don't get your SNAP benefits?
well, I don't know. Some of the sisters are gathering up. They talking about going and getting some food. I don't know.
Oh, really? You
Yes.
can you break that down to me just a little bit, or how much can you tell me?
Hey, listen, you ain't dealt with the 50, have you?
I have not. I'm not even sure I know what the
Anything you say
50
can and
is.
will. Hey, anything you say can and will be used against you. I ain't saying
Oh.
nothing like that. You might turn this over to the FBI.
Well, listen, I don't want to get you in any kind of trouble. You did call into the show, so I thought it was kind of fair
Well,
game for me to ask a few questions
well,
and get some clear answers from you. But you
well,
say you
that's what
got a
I
plan.
called for was for answers. You ain't gave
Look,
me no answers.
what's wrong with Karen or caller? I'm sorry, Karen. I mean caller.
Caller. Just call
Yeah,
her caller.
caller. But what's wrong with her selling a few of her credits?
Soon of her benefits. Well, she ain't got none this month.
Well, no. So what's she gonna do?
Well,
I,
that's what we're trying to figure out. And she called us to try to figure out what she's going to do. Well, I tell you what, caller, if you'll stick around here, we're going to break down some of the things that you can do here just a little bit later in the show. And by the way, we do thank you for calling in and appreciate your feedback on what's going on during this critical time for so many dependents on the government.
all I want to know is where's my food stamps. That's all I want to know. You tell me that.
Well,
Where's my yamps?
I don't know. Where's your yams?
Where's my
Girl,
yamps?
got to get some yams.
Yep.
That's right.
Anyway, all right, caller. We appreciate it, and call us back sometimes.
I'll be back. I'll be around.
All right. Whew. See,
Yeah.
it's real.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real.
Yeah, the struggle
Things are
is real.
heating up out there. But seriously, I want to now turn a little bit of attention and to the people who are not dependent, on benefits like that. Those people who may have planned their lives. I want to talk to you if you're in a pretty good situation right now. Um, I'm going to appeal to your better side of your being, and say that, listen, a lot of people out there may be scamming the system. 100%. There are some people who are really gaming the system right now. But one of the things that Scott just said, I was telling him that it wasn't right, but he said, is all you care about is right
It's being right.
and being right.
Right.
And so, um, and I'm reminded when I'm thinking about the situation that our people are in, I think it's a tragedy. And first of all, above all else, I blame a system who was actually gaming the people for their own benefit, for getting us there.
Yeah, and it's not just one side.
No,
It's
not
both
one side.
sides of this that is the problem, because there's genuinely people out there that need the help.
Yeah.
The sad thing is we've got a system of people as well out there that are scamming this program, and they are hurting. So it's gotten way out of control, and there needs to be, in my opinion, a reset, or a new course set to manage the program better. But to cut the benefits altogether, you're hurting everyone in the situation. Now, some people, it doesn't hurt that I see some people losing those benefits when they're scamming the system like this. But at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, there are actual real people out there that cannot get out there, or that are out there working 2 and 3 jobs, and it's just not enough, especially with today's uh, financial climate.
So yeah, there's definitely some real pain going on out there right now, and as far as I know, there has been, like I think yesterday, a federal judge kind of declared or or made a ruling that he had to release the benefits.
The benefits,
But
somewhat. Yep.
you know, we can go way deep down into that. I don't think it's going to work, and I actually think it's another political play.
But you know,
We'll see
actually,
how that works out. But I think
actually,
that-
this morning there have been 2 federal judges slap him on the wrist and tell him to open the program up.
Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. I have a suspicion that it's not going to play out in the favor of the people who are on benefits. We'll find out, though. So, again, I'm talking to the people out there that has the ability to help, whether it is financial help through a program, getting involved with local food banks, you know, feeding your neighbor, that sort of thing. You know, we can all do something. And I'm not, you know, even I myself, when I think about this, I think about watching what's going on. And when there's pain out there, I'm looking for an avenue to be able to help the best way I can. Because listen to me, the government was never supposed to be their job. If this nation is going to pull itself together, when we're so divided, we're going to have to become united again. And one of the causes that we can become united again is helping each other. Okay. To quote John Lennon, all we need is love, right?
Yeah. Well, I think from my perspective, being a believer, in the words of Jesus, you know, what you do to the least of these, you've done to me. And we need to have that sense of compassion, because Jesus really didn't put the requirements on giving and, you know, taking care of community. He, if you look at Peter in Acts after the day of Pentecost, they fed thousands of people. They gave people as they have need, and because the heart of men had changed, and the hearts of men were bringing in deeds and titles and money and laying it at the apostles' feet, and the apostles divvied it out to those that had need. And by the time you get to Acts chapter 5 with Peter, you see where Peter approaches the guy at the gate beautiful. Mm-hmm. And Peter says, silver and gold have I none, but what I have I give to you. And he's giving salvation, and he gives him healing, and he heals the guy. But, you know, we see in that progression where Peter, and I think we've mentioned this before, where Peter had given everything, so he kept nothing back. But Peter, it shows what the purpose of the church was. And in my personal opinion, I think the church has failed in a lot of ways. Not that God's failed, but men have failed in the church, because the government should never be the one to taking care of the welfare of the people. That was the church's job, and we've lost focus on that. When we teach prosperity ministries, like's being preached out there in a lot of cases, you can't just preach one thing and not live up to all the things in the gospel that is required of you. And Jesus really did. It's about compassion. It's about taking care of humanity. It's about taking care of our brother and sisters. And I think we've lost sight of that, because we have this need to be so right. Mm-hmm. And we need to start thinking beyond our own egos, our own selfishness, and thinking, you know, and measuring, engaging ourselves according to the words of Christ.
Well, now, you know, when you're talking about that feeling that we all get when, you know, when we see something that's unrighteous. Now, it's unrighteous to scam the system, okay? Yes. And maybe they just think that it comes from their stash of cash at the government, wherever. Maybe they don't put 2 and 2 together to say that there are people out there who go to work every day, they pay their taxes, and those taxes go there to do that. They think that the government, which they're not wrong, has a printing machine up
I was
there.
going to say they print more money. And
That
that's what
they-
most people think is
Right.
that they're just going to print more money. Well, somebody's got to pay for that.
Well, printing too much money is what caused the inflation to begin with.
Right.
And so that's why we see that the food prices on everybody, not just the poor
Right.
people, have gone up, and it's getting more and more hard to go to the grocery store and walk away spending so much money and your basket is only a fourth full. I get
Right.
that part. Now we're talking about the feelings that even, that I get whenever I hear of somebody that's scamming the system, let's say. And it's that righteous indignation that I have toward that deed. But then, as you said, well, do you just want to be right? Which brings me to one of the, the scripture that says, let your forbearance be known to all men. Let your forbearance be known. Well, what does that mean, to let your forbearance be known? Well, forbearance happens because something, you haven't got your righteous due. And so you feel indignant because of that action. But we're supposed to forbear these situations. And I'm not asking you to, well, what would Jesus do? I'm not really a kind of person who gravitates toward that type of talk, because it is Christ who lives in me.
Right.
And the more he infuses himself into my life and into my nature, then I take on more of his attributes and his attributes. And we begin to see things through the eyes of Christ. Now, so there are things that we can do out there to help in this situation. And I'm asking for the better part of yourself, that, if you find something out there, find a way to help out, please do so. But now I want to talk to the dependents out there. Even though we're talking about all this stuff, and maybe you feel like we are teasing you, judging you, and that sort of thing. It can come across like that. But here's what I want to say to you. Right now is a prime example of a government who said they cared about you, but they don't. They have never cared about you. They have always done that for some kind of political gain. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in government doesn't have good intentions, but you know what they say about the road to hell is paved
with good intentions.
with good intentions, right? And so, but the system can fail you, and that's what we're experiencing right now, is that failure. And let me make this point, and I had to realize this even myself, but I'm going to make a point that nobody cares about you the way you care about you. You can think of your closest friends. You can think of your family. At the end of the day, they love you and they care about you. Scott and I love you guys, and we care about you, but nobody cares about you the way that you do. You are your own best hope.
Right.
Now, for you to be dependent upon a government, they're going to let you down.
Yep.
You can depend on your friends, but even they're in a similar situation. They may or not be able to help you.
Well, here's their track record with the government. Every time there's a crisis in play, the government comes at us in a lot of ways. And when I say government, I'm not talking just about one person or one party. I'm talking about the whole entity itself. They come at us in a way that they're going to help us, as if they care. And they might care to some extent, but what they're doing, in my opinion, is still pandering.
Right.
They're pandering for the vote because they're providing things. They're giving you a false sense of hope and dependence, and they're creating. And this, we all know that this dependence was created years and years ago And there were warnings along the way the whole time saying, if we do this, it's going to create this problem. Well, here's the problem. What are we going to do about it? You just can't take it away. You've already created it. So if you take it away, you're taking it away. And I do have compassion, and I understand what it is to have something taken away from you and having to go out. People are going to get hungry. So the real answer isn't just taking it away. I think the real answer is management, learning how to manage the program, following the rules, because we made the point earlier when we were discussing this whole thing for the last week. We made the point that, it used to be when you were on food stamps or an EBT program, there were only certain foods you can have.
Right.
And as you see the entitlement mentality of some people, they're getting steak and lobster.
I've seen that. Sometimes I wonder if they were not just trolling
They could have
social
been,
media.
but I do know that the availability for other foods has become available at a much more relaxed rate than when the program first started. Because a lot of it was dried goods. A lot of it was things where, if you try to buy, say, a can of beans, they would give you a bag of beans and they would go much further on the programs, and like WIC and EBT and all of that. Now it seems like it's almost a free for all. And then people have learned how to scam the system, and they're selling these benefits. Now, I don't agree with it. Even though we sit here and we make jest at it like we do, but I don't agree with, we joke and jest, but I don't agree with the real fact that you're scamming the system. So that's created the problem. But on the other side, what naturally happens is the other side that's in control is going to go overboard the opposite direction.
Mhm.
That's not the answer either. So
Right. And again, don't hate people out there who are, talking about, you should make plans, prepare for your future, think things through. Especially if you've got people who are dependent upon you. You've got children, you've got parents, or someone in your life that you care about, and we need to think things through, prepare for the unexpected. Now, I didn't really expect that we would be losing these benefits.
right.
And one of the things that we always say on the show here is prepare for the unexpected and keep it local. But this is one illustration of what we're talking about there.
If we look at what TNT, I think that's Terry, right?
Yeah, TNT.
Terry, he said in the column here, I think that's why homesteading is important. That at one point he was laid off and had got a 2-month extension, and that's not much, but he had worked it out. But what Terry's trying to say is he prepared for a situation like this, and in his homesteading lifestyle. There is a lot of preparation, and that's what takes you through times like this, is because you set yourself to be ready for anything. And when you have a government shutdown, at least you have something as a backup plan already set in place. And sometimes it's the lifestyle you already live that could pull you out of the situation.
And, here at the Farm to Table show, that's what we're advocates for. We're advocates for preparing in a way that we change it's a lifestyle change.
Right.
We always say, everybody can grow something, no matter where you are, you can grow something. Or, let's say that the benefits get started back up, and you start storing back just a little bit of that food. Over time, that will build up.
Right.
For times such as these. And so you wouldn't be so panicked and maybe throwing tantrums. And I've even seen things out there to where somebody came in, they weren't just screaming at the cashier, but they're walking out, trashing the store on their way out because they're upset and angry.
Well, now there's groups that we were listening to this week that they're talking about just going into these grocery stores loading up their carts and walking out and daring anyone to say anything to them.
Right. Please don't be a part of that crowd. That doesn't help anything. It only hurts your case for people to be compassionate. You know, it's hard to be compassionate about somebody who's completely irrational. Right.
Right. And that's what I guess in a lot of ways I'm saying the same thing. Please don't be this way, because the real solution isn't being more of an activist.
Right.
The real solution is being more centered and kind of looking for, the middle ground. And nobody's looking for that middle ground, it seems like, in today's political environment. We either go far to the left or far to the right.
Right.
But in the center there is the answer, and we need to rely on people to keep a level head
Mm-hmm.
and keep it calm and think through, and don't just react irrationally like this to go in and do that. We even saw one clip where one lady said that if she didn't get her stamps, that she was going to come into your house and just eat your food at Thanksgiving. So,
And oh, by the way, they like steak and lobster, she said. Yeah. So, yeah, what are some of the things that, we were talking about preparing, but before you can prepare, you've got an immediate need that's right now. And some of the things that they can do to get help right now, what would you say to them about how to get help right now?
There's food banks out there. And I also discovered this week, I've been working in Texas for the past couple months.
Right.
And HEB stores during this crisis have devoted $6 million in Texas to Texans to help them through temporarily. So there are people that are putting their money where their mouth is. And there are programs out there, food banks and churches and other things. There's always a way for people to try to help. And, people aren't completely without compassion. I think a lot of people, if they know your need, they're going to try to help and fill it. So,
yeah, that's right. So yeah, there are programs out there, food banks, like you said, churches.
yeah.
Now I did see a report to where, places like food banks and churches and everything was just getting slammed.
Yes, they are.
With people coming out there. So be patient.
I do know that also this time of year and in the spring, the Boy Scouts and other programs out there like it, they run food drives. And I've seen thousands upon thousands of pounds of food being collected by local scouts. And, check with your local scout and find out who they're contributing to, what food pantries they're giving to. Unless you're Keith and you won't let me have a bite of your sandwich, there are people out here who will help you. And now he's taking it away. It's too tempting. So, oh no, what are we going to do? No, you guys know that's just we're doing that in jest here to have fun. We're poking the bear a little bit, but it is a real issue, and we're trying to cover the basis of both sides and trying to stay level-headed through this whole thing and, rely on that. I do want to mention something about a generational problem. And the generational problem is that this started not with the generation you're seeing now.
Right.
And the mindset that the current generation have is only a product of the generations past. So they have no other reference because they've not been taught that reference. They've taught sort of the law of the jungle at this point. That's what they've been taught. It's up to us to be that voice of reason and say, no, this is not right. This is not true, because now you've got 3 and 4 generations past, maybe even more, of this teaching of living off this system. And at some point, as you said earlier, you're your greatest hope. You are your best hope. Nobody's going to pull you out in a situation, because when the government can't do it anymore, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And that's where we need to go. We need to have solutions on not only what are we going to do, but showing people what to do and how to do this, and showing people. And sometimes it does take hard work. And you've got to face it. It does take when when Christy and I were young and we had our kids, there were 2 and 3 jobs. One of us was working while the other was at home with the kids. And people will say, well, what do I do with my kids if I'm having to work? Yeah, I get the problem. You don't want other people that you don't know raising your kids.
Mm-hmm.
But there are solutions out there. Our solution, and I'm not saying that everybody can do this, but our solution was while one was home with the kids, the other was working. Yes, it took our time from each other, but at the same time, it also, we wanted our children. We planned for those children. Not everything was always easy, but we were willing to do whatever it took to put food in their mouth and food on that table and clothes on their back. And now the tables are turned. Our children are seeing that and having to live those lessons. But the biggest thing I'm proud of is that with my generation in our household, we taught our children a correct way by living it.
By example.
By example. This, what I was talking about generationally earlier, through living off the government and the welfare system, you've got to teach people to not depend on the government to pull you out, because as we just stated, you see the current situation, and what are you going to do? What do we do if we have an event, another event like 9/11 or another COVID? That COVID got a lot of us in this situation.
That's true.
To where people are really struggling because a lot of people lost their jobs and they had to depend on it.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do to step away from that dependence? Because you can't depend on other people. When you've got to depend on yourself, and especially when you have kids, they're depending on you.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to learn to step above that and do the right thing.
Right. And, and that's why here at the Farm to Table Show, we've always been an advocate for the homesteading lifestyle, self-reliance, check out our 7 steps to self-reliance. You can go back and even watch an entire, I believe it was a 7-week series. I can't remember exactly how long, on those 7 steps to self-reliance. And you can move a little to the right. Every step you take to the right of the scale. Now, to the right of the scale means that you're no longer dependent upon outside help or the dependence on a food supply chain that can easily break down, or a government shutdown. You're not depending upon them keeping it together, because as you can see, they don't always keep it together. But now, any way that you can move away from that system and into the system of self-reliance, the better off you are, and the better off your neighbor is, and the better off the entire nation is. Now, I want to say that whenever I see this problem, I take no pleasure in anybody's pain. Pain definitely is on the increase right now. However, I see that as an opportunity for us to show a different side to the people who are dependent, meaning to say that they have an idea about who we are.
Yeah.
And many of us have an idea about their character. But if we take this opportunity to show them some compassion, maybe we can reach some.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I'm under no delusion whatsoever that we're going to get a significant amount of the people that are dependent upon the government to reason in their mind that this is not the right way for me to do things. Okay. Because for some of them, it truly is, because they truly need it. But for those who are not truly needing it, you do have other ways of supporting yourself. These are the people that I'm talking to. And if we can just skim off of the top some of those people and give them a better way of life,
right,
through direction, And especially those who want to, let's say, think outside the box.
Right. Here's when saying thinking outside the box is kind of leading into one of my thoughts here. And what I realize is in situations like this, people will always give you what the problems are.
Yes, that's
They
right.
always focus on the negative. What we're saying here is give us a solution. What are the solutions? Food banks, yes, they may get overwhelmed. Food banks may run out of food, but what is it that we can do personally in our own lives that we can contribute to make sure the food banks don't dry up? What is it we can do to go over to a neighbor and say, hey, what do you need?
Yeah.
Those who have can help those who have not. And that is the right thing to do in this situation. Uh, we've become dependent upon a system that's let us down. Like I keep saying, we've created the mess we're living in. But focusing on the negative aspects and given all the problems, yes, everybody's aware of the problems. But how about let's become solution oriented and let's try to help fix the problem, at least in a time or temporarily, if not permanently. Let's try to fix the problem by giving people solutions and not continually finding what's wrong with the system. We can all sit here and do that all day, and we can almost make a whole TV show for 10 years on complaining. But
Well, I think they pretty much proved that. I mean,
Yeah,
isn't that
yeah.
what you see every
That's
day
what you
anyway?
see all the time on TV. But
Yeah.
and that's another mentality that's set that we've got to get out of. We've got to start thinking, what can I do? JFK said it. Don't ask what America can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Yeah.
And I think that transcends just the country. I think that transcends the neighborhoods,
Right.
to the communities, to individuals, to families. What is it that you can do to look beyond the negativity and say, well, I've got food in the closet that I'm not going to eat, or I've got, this over here I can help some with. If we've seen this, I know it's a different scenario, but the movie Schindler's List, and one thing that stuck out to me about that movie is how he had a watch on his hand, on his wrist. And he made the point, well, if I had just sold the watch, I could have helped this many more people.
One more. Right.
And that's,
Yeah.
you've got to learn to let go of things that you think matter because they don't. What matters is humanity and life. Regardless of what the person is doing, regardless of the scam, it is our job to help people without judgment. And that's where we've got to go, without judgment, finding solutions and being positive in a world of negativity.
Yeah, so we're getting pretty close to the top of the hour, and
Alrighty.
And I just kind of want to just implore that we have an opportunity for both sides to come together, no matter which side of the aisle you fall on. And I just want to implore people to do that. And I had a couple of things prepared right here that I wanted to say to people. If I can find it.
Got a lot of notes that we took.
Right. And so, so just in closing, I want to say a few things. One is, if you don't take responsibility, who will?
Right.
Could community outperform government? That's the question.
Absolutely.
And right now we are in that position to where we can at least start that conversation or start that action. Is it easier to judge someone or feed someone?
It's easier to feed. It's easier to take action and just do something that you have at your disposal right there.
Yep.
You just got to think
Absolutely.
outside of yourself.
And then I want to say that what if we prepared because we love our families?
Yeah.
It is a completely unselfish thing to do. Some people talk about hoarding. Oh, you're just hoarding food. No, You're preparing for the love of your family
That's what Joseph did when he was sold into slavery to
In
the
Egypt.
Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
Is he prepared? He prepared, and it not only uh, impacted the nation of Egypt at the time, but it impacted every nation around him. And it was his own brothers who sold him into that had to come to him and say, "We're sorry,
Right.
but we need the food as well." So
Right. So there was not only preparation.
There was
that
planning,
by that there were
preparation.
planning, preparation,
Right.
and survival through those periods of time. But there was mercy.
There was mercy because he could have said, "Put them in prison, take their life, whatever." He could have,
He had the power,
but he
to do
didn't
so.
do that
Right.
because he chose to show compassion and not judgment.
So not all people that's in powerful positions.
But saying that,
Mhm.
can I have a bite of your sandwich?
Dude. God, here, brother. So anyway, I just want to, thank you guys for tuning in to the Farm to Table show for this very important topic. What we thought was something that was kind of eye-opening and an opportunity that we have. And I want to thank Scott for filling in for Ryan, and I
Yep.
want to thank the caller who called in earlier for participating in the show. And I want to thank all of the tablers over there. And I apologize that we did not get over to you that much in this show, but for some reason I hit the wrong button and I can't see, and I can't pull you guys up and see everything that you said over there. But anyway, I guess it's time to go ahead and get out of here and let people
Yep.
off. Should we do a sports take on the end of this thing?
Maybe so. Let's
All
let's
right,
take it over and
let's
see where
kinda
Mr. P's at here.
Let's see if
Today's an important day.
the
The most important game out there is Clemson. I just want you guys to know that.
Oh, the most important. Oh, well, look, there is no sports take.
Oh, boy.
The guy has left the desk, so there won't be any.
Elvis
of that, I guess,
has
today.
left the building.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. What
Wait.
do we have
we
here?
have sound.
I hear sound. Yes.
Things come crashing down in the background and everything.
Oh, there we go.
And here we go. And he was listening here. So, yeah, here
Sorry.
just before we get this is Game Day Friday, and we just want to bring in
Game Day Friday, sir?
Saturday. Yes.
I'm a day behind and $1.
And as I stated, this is the most important game of the week. Is the Clemson game. I don't care what you think, but I'll let you be the professional here, though.
No, go ahead real quick. I got to pull my notes up real fast. I'm sorry. I got a little distracted doing that stuff real fast.
Anyway, I'm kind of dreading this particular section right now because I'm not really happy with what I'm seeing going on. Of course, OU Sooners are my team, and of course, this is my other brother who's rooting for Clemson. But then again, okay,
Right.
not everybody's perfect.
Yeah. Well, no one can be me.
talking about your team.
Good Lord.
So
my
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. So obviously,
Like
thanks.
right. But as we all know, yes, Scott alluded to it. For him, his Clemson Tigers played Duke today. So
Don't
you
forget
should win.
that's Dookie, not
Dookie.
Duke.
All right, Dookie,
Yes.
my bad. Sorry,
It's
my
spelled
bad.
with D-U-K-E. Dookie.
As far as the other games today, I'm only gonna highlight a few. Not too many that I want to speak about. Obviously, OU goes to Tennessee today. We all know that one's coming up. That's gonna be it should be a good game. It's a toss up however you want to go. It just depends on which team decides to show up today. Like honestly. So you take your pick. Obviously, I'm going OU. Keith, I know you're going OU. So
Of course.
one game I want to highlight today is Vanderbilt, Texas. Vanderbilt is 7-1 right now. I want that to be stated. Vanderbilt, yeah, it's a little late today. I see there, Ed. So, Vanderbilt is 7-1 for the first time, I think, since I think it was in 1930 something, 1950 something, if I remember correctly. I don't have my numbers right, but either way, This Vanderbilt team is probably the best Vanderbilt team they've put on the field ever, probably. So if they beat Texas, they have I want to say, a straight shot to be in the SEC championship game, possibly even a playoff spot. So another one we'll highlight, obviously just because it's a rivalry game, Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State should win, but hey, it's a rivalry game. You never know. Weirder things have happened in football. So another one going to highlight, another rivalry game, Georgia, Florida. Georgia obviously coming in, they've only lost one game also this season, but Florida's been playing everybody tough. It's just, can that offense show up and actually play today and not throw about 5 interceptions in a game?
Right.
Let me make sure.
I can say that about my team as well.
Right. This is going to be a good one too. Later tonight, you got Cincinnati and Utah. That's going to be a very, very tough game. So very physical. Utah plays everybody tough. Cincinnati 7-1 right now. If you ask me, Big 12 is like up in the air on who they're going to have representing them, to be honest. So, but that's pretty much going to be my highlights this week. I think Ryan might kill me for not getting the Arkansas game, but hey, I don't think Ryan.
Yeah, I think they've got Mississippi State. Isn't that who they're playing?
I believe so.
Yeah, when I was picking up Scott yesterday, Mississippi State was coming through the Fayetteville area.
Yeah.
To get ready to play that game today.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you expect out of that. So
well,
let me go over. I think we might have Ryan over as a caller. Let's see if maybe he's got anything to say about this. Hello,
Morning.
caller. Good morning, Ryan.
Hey, hello.
Hey, you really are working. You weren't just skipping out on it.
Oh, no. I'm just back in the cab for a couple of minutes. But,
okay. You got anything to say about the games coming up today?
Man, the big game for me to watch is Vandy, Texas.
Yeah.
I want to see what Texas is going to look like because we've got them in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We got a week off and then we have them. But see if Manning is back out of concussion protocol yet. But Razorbacks and Mississippi State, it's another one of those games where we should win, but we've had a whole lot of those this year that we didn't. So,
do I need to go back to Auburn last week?
Yeah, Memphis, and we probably should have beat Ole Miss, and handful of those, but we'll see. We'll see. Right now, my entertainment is in the coaching carousel. So.
Oh, Lord. I didn't even touch on that part. Good Lord. Yeah. Brian Kelly getting fired. James Franklin getting fired. I think there's about 5 other coaches that's been fired also.
Hey, listen, with what some of them are making getting fired, I wouldn't mind getting fired like that.
That's right. Hey, I'd be seeing how often
$53 million.
Fired, right?
Woo!
Yeah. I'll be happy. I'll
go get fired every week if I get paid like that.
I'd be fired up about being fired.
I'll make a profession out of getting fired.
Professionally fired.
Hey guys, it's fun jumping in for just a second, but I got to get out and.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna close it. We're gonna close it down, bro. And you be safe out there. And thank you for popping in.
I'll holler at you on the phone after. Yep.
All right, sounds good. Dakota, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dakota, for the update.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. Well, that's it for us this week here at the Farm to Table Show. And once again, we just want to thank everybody for showing up on this important day. And if you didn't catch everything that we were talking about earlier, go back and watch it from the beginning because it's worth listening to. It is an important topic. And anyway, with that being said, Scott, you got anything else to say before we go? That's good.
Thanks for the sandwich.
You got it. You got it, brother. So anyway, until next time, this is Keith.
I'm Scott.
And as we always say,
at the end of every show is prepare for the unexpected and
Keep
keep
it
it local. Hank, take us on out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.